My name is Devon Fernandes, and I'm Humber College's Sustainability Manager. So sustainability is all about thinking long-term, both in terms of the environment, community, and the economy, and trying to prioritize those in ways that make sense for all of us to have a prosperous future. So when I think about community gardens, growing your own vegetables, having a really strong community spirit, it ties in so many different aspects of sustainability and makes it accessible for folks regardless of where they're coming from. So community gardens are a great way to demonstrate sustainability on campus and beyond. Communities are where sustainability starts. I think as soon as you have a strong culture of sustainability within your community, a strong sense of belonging, you get to scale your impact from there, and we can start to address these really challenging problems in our society, such as our climate crisis and issues around equity, diversity, and inclusion. And so as soon as we have these practices and they start to be ingrained in our community and our culture, we really get to see these wonderful ideas like community gardens blossom. So for the South Etobicoke community, I think there's already a lot of engagement around community gardens, and that's in part due to the pods, the garden pods, as well as I think just a very strong action from local community and a response from Humber in terms of trying to foster that. And I think the prominence of pollinators needs to grow substantially. And part of that is to support local wildlife and also just make sure that we are more adaptive to a changing climate. So as we integrate more pollinators and local species, native species into our natural environment, we become more adaptive to a changing climate, to let's say more stronger floods and that sort of thing that have been happening in Toronto and will continue to happen. And I think as soon as we make sure that we have a resilient wildlife and pollinators that are able to thrive, it has a cascading effect in terms of, it's not just South Etobicoke, but the rest of the Toronto, the greater Toronto area can start to blossom as well. Yeah, so I think green spaces should definitely be a priority for the South Etobicoke community, as well as any community, because there's tons of different benefits to it. And it's crystal clear that the more green spaces you have, especially during COVID, we've seen this, more access to nature, the better your mental health is, the more resilient your community is to any kind of environmental stress like floods or heat waves, anything like that. And the community aspect, as soon as you have nature, you have people going out for picnics and people coming together to enjoy everything that nature has to offer. I myself am really fortunate to have a community garden on my block. And every time I walk by it, there's always a new conversation around a different kind of vegetable being grown or meeting a new neighbor. And I think it offers countless benefits for both one's mental health, community health, as well as the environment.